how to generate more leads and get more clients for your SEO service agency using LinkedIn. This is exactly what this video is all about. My name is Artem. I too used to run an SEO link building agency, so I know exactly what you're going through. This video is full of value and I'm just going to jump right into it right away. So when it comes to selling your SEO service to a specific target audience on LinkedIn, you need to have like it's almost like a puzzle which you need to put together, and all these pieces, they need to click with each other. So you want to have this full picture complete, because if you have something that's missing, it's either not going to work completely or it will not work just as well. So before we go any further, I want to show you the exact framework, what it looks like, when you start off. So first of all, you actually need to start with having a very attractive LinkedIn profile. And by attractive, I mean that it has to be attractive for your specific target audience. So you need to have a pretty headshot, so your profile photo, you need to be looking nice, attractive. So no sunglasses, no like shade or like unprofessional photos. Go ahead and get yourself a good professional photo taken. It's not that hard, it's not that expensive. You can use your iPhone or your other phone or whatever. It's very, very easy to do. Then your background image, it should clearly coincide with the headline, which in turn needs to coincide with the mega offer that you have. And the mega offer itself, I actually just put a post on LinkedIn about the mega offer. It needs to be it needs to involve a hyper specific target audience. So you cannot be just selling your SEO services to SMEs or whatever. You need to really pick a niche. And for the sake of this example video, I'm going to use SaaS as a target audience, because quite a lot of agencies are targeting SaaS. It's an interesting niche to work in, and there's a lot of business there, good budgets as well. And then you need to position yourself with the exact deliverables, like what is your SEO service? What exactly are you offering these SaaS companies? Is it more signups? Is it more trials? Like what is it? That's what you're ultimately offering them. Next, there's this time frame. So how quickly are you going to get the results? And I know SEO is hard to predict, but you can still, give it an estimate. You can say 90 days, 6 months, whatever that is. Then there is a risk mitigation component of this offer. So what happens if you don't achieve that results in 90 days? Like what happens? Do they still pay you, or do you work extra hours, or what happens then? And then there is social proof. So you have to be able to show them that you've done this before and that the stuff that you're sharing with them actually works. So these are all the components of a mega offer. So before you go and start hunting for those specific clients, you really need to have that set up. Once you've got your mega offer dialed in, you then have your headline, which is based exactly on that then. So in my case, my case is a little different now because I'm in this lead generation, social selling stuff right now. But back in the day I was talking about how I deliver quality backlinks in very few, in a short time frame, to specifically SaaS companies. So my offer wasn't great. So I really needed to have it redone at the time. But that's why it didn't work as good as it could have. Okay. So right now I really put a lot of effort in creating this powerful mega offer. Okay. Next then, once you have that dialed in, you would go to Sales Navigator and find and connect with your ideal customers. Okay. There's no way around this. And you really need Sales Navigator to pinpoint those people. And then you go into commenting mode. This is optional, but it's kind of important, because then you will also need your content creation step. This is when you will be posting content for your newly connected target audience to see, show that you're actually legit, that you know what you're talking about. And content creation is tightly connected with commenting, because the way LinkedIn works, it encourages, it promotes those creators that take a while to comment under other people's posts, just the way the algorithm works. So if you comment under other people's posts, you will actually have more engagement naturally from LinkedIn, and other people that you leave comments on, they will get back to your post as well and reciprocate. So this is a good one. Then there is a DM game. So once you start acquiring these connections, once you start commenting, getting that initial touch points, you go into the DM and start building the report, which ultimately results in you inviting them for a call. And again, I'll show you how it's done using my example at the end of this video. Okay. And the content creation component, I mentioned it briefly already, but the point is you basically go and create content that is specifically targeted at the audience that you're serving. Okay. That's about it. That's how it all works, LinkedIn in the nutshell. Now let's go into more specific examples. So suppose that I've got my profile dialed in. So I've got a photo which looks pretty good. Yeah. Then I've got my background image, which also says, which calls out exactly what I deliver. In this case, obviously it needs to be changed. Yeah, so if I was targeting SaaS clients, I would say, hey, SaaS companies, do you want more trials? Do you want more trial signups or something that would grab attention of these people? Because the goal is to grab their attention, because that's the first thing after your headshot that they'll look at. And then they read the headline, okay? So and the headline comes again from that mega offer. Yeah, so once you got that mega offer, that's pretty much what you type in here. That's the first thing they read after your name and all this other stuff, yeah? And then they decide, okay, is he worth my time at all, okay? So once you have all that put in, you go into the Sales Navigator and find and connect with your ideal customers. So as I mentioned, the way to do this is to go to the Sales Navigator. It's super important that you get it. It's only like $90 a month or something like that, and it allows you like that exceptional fine tuning of finding those perfect leads. Yeah, so something that you can really use for your to find your ideal clients for SEO agency. Okay, so once you're in Sales Navigator, and you also get the first 30 days, you get them free, so it pays off for itself in a heartbeat. So once you're here, I go into search box and I hit enter. You let it load like this, and I go directly to see all filters. So suppose I'm actually going to the search keywords, and because I've done it in the past, I'm going to use this search term, and I'm actually going to show you that it's a good example to have. Okay, so what I'm using here, these bits or not, this is what is called Boolean searches. So basically, these are we come from SEO background. This is like search operators on Google. Okay, exact same thing. There's one more which is called AND, basically. Yeah, so it's like if you want to combine certain things together, so you can read it separately in this document. Okay, but pretty much basically what I'm telling LinkedIn here is that I only want to have people that have SaaS or software as a service or platform, but not agency inside their profiles. Yeah, so basically I want to get rid of any other agency folks, yeah, that are out there looking to sell their services to SaaS companies, and I only want to talk to people that have these keywords in their profiles. Okay. Then the next thing is I want to have actually company headcount. I go for at least 11 to 50 because I actually want these companies to have some budget. I don't go 1 to 10, they're too small. I can maybe go to 51 to 200, depends on your target audience, how do you see that? But I'll leave it here right now. Geography, say I only want to work with companies that are based in the United States and the UK. Then my current job title, which is the decision maker, pretty much. I only want to talk to people that are marketing directors and maybe chief marketing officers, okay? Maybe senior marketing managers as well, depending on the size of the company. But in this case, 11 to 50, I'd say we're fine with these guys. Profile language, English, doesn't really change anything in this case. And then this bit is also interesting. Years in current position. So basically, I only want to get people, marketing directors and CMOs that have been there for a bit of time, for at least a year. The problem is that sometimes this then doesn't actually include, not everybody includes this, this current position type of thing in their profile. So I see a bit of, we might be actually losing somebody, because they haven't put it in their profile, but they've been in the position for some time. So depending on the end results, like here I've got 2K, I'm happy with those numbers. Yeah, I'll leave it as is. But if you're not seeing, if you need more results, like you just basically get rid of all of them, just leave this blank. And then I've got the spotlights feature, activities and shared experiences. And here I only want to have a chat with people. I want to reach out to people that post on LinkedIn in 30 days. So basically it's kind of an additional layer, kind of making sure that these folks, the ones, the type of the clients that I want for my SEO agency, that they're actually active on LinkedIn. So I'm not wasting my time reaching out who's not active, clearly. Yeah. So I really want to engage with these people before I sell them anything. So once we get this initial setup, yeah, I want to actually walk through some of these leads and make sure that they are legit. Yeah, because again, if we want to filter something out, we can do this right now. In fact, we better do this right now because LinkedIn only allows, like, at this day and age, like it's July 2023, LinkedIn only allows like up to 800 connection requests on a monthly basis. So it's very limited amount of people, and given that you will also not get a acceptance from every single one of them, you might be talking anywhere between like 20 to 40 to maybe 50%, depending on how good your outreach is and how difficult your niche is. Yeah, so by the end of the month you only get like 200, maybe 250, 300 plus potentially, yeah, connections that actually converted, like connection requests converted into connections. So let's make sure that we only kind of reach out to people that we know that belong. So this guy here, so he's director of marketing, which is exactly what we're looking for. Applicant tracking and training management software. We understand today's HR leaders. Okay, looks interesting. Potentially that could work. Power X technology. Data is key for expert tower management. Okay, looks pretty good. This doesn't show up, and he's saying I only accept connection requests from people I know. Okay, that's okay. Alarum software helps manufacturers, wholesales. It pretty looks like SaaS. So it seems like let's assume they look good, but let's suppose there was somebody, like some random copywriter or a basically, yeah, like a copywriter that showed up here. What would we do? So we actually go to current job title to kick him out. We'll type in something like copywriter. Like in this case, it actually shows up, but say I only, because there's a little trick, but I'm going to write it like this. See, I didn't choose it from the drop down here. I instead included it like this. But if you don't want anybody who's a copywriter, this took me a while to learn. Actually, I didn't know this thing existed. You just hover over this thing, and you get this little sign, and then once you click on it, it basically takes out anybody who mentions copywriter, this word copywriter in their current job title. That's pretty handy to filter stuff out. So sometimes you might be looking through this, and then you might find somebody who's, for example, like in HR or something. So you take out, like type in HR here, and you take them out. So it allows you to further fine tune the list, clean up those folks that you don't want to reach out to. Okay, so once you have that done, what you do next is you actually start going into you start connecting with them. Okay, and there are, like, I'm not going to touch the automated kind of connection stuff that's out there right now with the tools like Galaxy and Dripify. You can look into it yourself. They're pretty self-explanatory. I probably have another video recorded on them, but at this stage, like right now, I'm not exactly like sure what is the best way, like, to reach out. Like maybe the best way is to actually go hyper personalized and reach out to people with hyper personalization, adding like notes that are highly personalized. Like, you make sure you checked out their profile, you checked out maybe what they do, checked out the website, and pretty much like commented on this then while you reach out, so to increase this conversion rate when it comes to acceptance. Yes, once you're sending out conversion requests. But basically that's the idea. Just go and connect. One word of advice: I don't really recommend connecting inside the because there's this thing, once you click connect, it actually connects within the Sales Navigator like framework. Basically it's inside Sales Navigator. And I would instead go click here, like you check out their profile, or you can actually click here, it opens up. And then you've got this 3 dots here, click on them, and then there is this view LinkedIn profile. So this takes you to their LinkedIn profile directly, and this is when you connect with them, okay? Hit the connect button, this is how you connect with these guys here. So that's what you do, because if you cancel LinkedIn afterwards, if you cancel Sales Navigator afterwards, you will not be, like, you will lose access to this guy if he actually responded to your, in a positive manner, to your connection request. So it's better to kind of hit them up here, and then even if you cancel, you can still have a good conversation with them. So that's pretty much it. So you start connecting with these people, and basically, again, it's up to like 200 connection requests on a weekly basis. At least that's what the tool is doing right now that I'm using. I'm using Galaxy, so that's the amount of connection requests it's sending out. Some people say it's like 100 requests on a weekly basis, but I see it at 200 right now. So that's the reality that I'm seeing. So what happens next? Once they accept, and I'm actually going to switch to the example right now because I have a really good example from back in the day when I was acquiring SaaS clients. So I'm going to show you the DM that I had, real DM interaction that I had with one of my potential clients at the time. So here's the guy, and basically you can see that the way I was reaching out. So I'm saying, hey Jesse, so the first name, great to connect with you. How are things at Convosa? So, and Convosa is the company that he's working in. Yeah. So not the best, absolutely not the best outreach message. So I'm just trying to be kind of funny here. I'm saying that's just an icebreaker, so to start the conversation going. Then, as you can see, it actually took him a while to accept my connection request. Yeah, because this was the connection request. Yeah, so maybe if I made it a little bit more personalized, it would have worked better. But in this case, it actually worked, so I'm happy with the result. So he's saying things are great, nice to meet you. Yeah, so no real conversation there happening from his side. So I have to really push the narrative and become the guy who is like, asking questions. I'm like, hey Jesse, thanks for accepting my request. After all, just kidding. Again, I'm trying to be funny, as I am. Do you post on LinkedIn much? I think your insights would be gold. You're on, my man. So again, I'm not trying to sell anything here. And then there are different school of thoughts, because I could have reached out to him and say, man, like, we've got this, and basically give him this offer. Yeah, but and then basically provide this step-by-step guide and show exactly how it's done. So it can work pretty well because you're offering a lot of value in the post. So you literally send them a message, and you have like a link to, say, your Google Doc, where you share the framework in order that helps to achieve the result that they ultimately want to achieve. So this is why it's so important to have a mega offer that serves a very specific target audience, that you know exactly what you're delivering, and the exact time frame. Like, you have a proven system, basically. That is why it's so important, because you can literally just like, oh yeah, here's how it's done. Okay, check it out. If you want to do it yourself, you can do it, but it will take a lot of time, like all those resources, or you can hire myself and my team, and we can go and do it for you. So that's another really good approach that works pretty well. However, here I'm taking a bit of a different path. Yeah, so I'm like, hey man, how's it going? Ta-di-ta. And and then he's replying. And see the cool stuff that's happened here. Maybe I could use your services. And, because I kind of complimented him, I said, like, your insights would be really good. And then he's like, maybe I could use your services. That's a cool thing that's happened for one specific reason. Actually, for two reasons. First of all, I'm not trying to sell him. Yeah. And I'm not trying to sell him. And while I'm actually talking about all these things, he's seen my profile. He knew that I was working with SaaS and doing the SEO stuff for SaaS folks. And at the time, I was posting a lot of content. Yeah, so basically all my content is around like SEO, right? SEO for SaaS companies. And as you can see, got quite some traction, 21,000 impressions, 6,600 impressions. Like, SEO is great for this kind of impression stuff, okay? So that was really good. So as he was seeing, like, as he was getting exposed to my content, I mean, getting that, then converting this into a conversation was pretty easy. So the goal is to have built up enough rapport and actually pre-qualify them as well. I'm not really doing a really good job here at pre-qualifying. Well, partially because I already saw their website. I knew that they've got this budget, that they've got this need for having more organic traffic because I could see their efforts. So I kind of knew beforehand, so I didn't need to pre-qualify as much. And then we basically are slowly moving towards this short discovery call, what is called. Yeah, so the idea is to, once again, to connect. During the discovery call, it's just, you just connect, learn a little bit more about the business, ask a little bit more questions, and then say at the end of the call, it's like, if you are interested, like, we got this then, and this is something that we can deliver for you. How's that sound? And they're like, oh yeah, we're interested. And then you can schedule another call, which is a strategy call, which is essentially a sales call. And that's when you actually do this further, like, sales process. But the whole DM stuff should be aimed at getting people to a conversation, okay? Because that's just how the communication works. Yeah, you cannot, sometimes, like, B2B sales cycles can take a long while. They can take a long while. Even if people really need your service, it can take a long while because they have to make sure the team is all right with this choice. They have to make sure everything is in the correct sequence, like all those things. It really takes a while. So that's how it goes with the DM game. And again, I showed you the content creation part here. Yeah, so you basically create all that content and expose your new connections to that content, so that after that they convert into these calls where you can essentially meet them, and you might not necessarily sell to them at the right away, but it still is a good way to build a rapport and build your brand ultimately. So this is one of the ways. I mean, the framework is always the same. Yeah, so find people that have a clear offer. That is just so important. I cannot, like, overemphasize. Like, I flew for this, but I can talk, like, for a long time about that stuff, because having a very clear, highly specific offer, like being super targeted with who are you working, what exactly are you delivering, the time frame, the risk mitigation, social proof, like all these things. Like, if you nail that and down, you will see just how people react to that. They will start writing you. They will start, like, before you even, like, you would reach out and saying, hey, how's it going? And they're like, dude, I'm really interested in your offer. Can you please tell me more? That's just how powerful this stuff is, okay? And then once you've got that cleared up, you start connecting with people, commenting under their posts if possible, starting engaging in conversations, trying to provide value, and then getting with them on these calls and following up with the strategy calls if necessary, and ultimately signing them as your agencies, as your clients. Guys, I hope this video has been of help. I wish you the very best of luck with growing your LinkedIn profile, building up your business, and establishing that thought leadership and branding. If you need any help when it comes to the sales process and lead generation for your SEO agency, reach out to me. I'll be there to help you out. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.